Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All that time. No one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Think of every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. HG got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now.
Marshawn
Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like, we're not getting any better.
To the left, got the edge and grind. We break it all
Get it into
down
Smith.
like
What a pass! That's it! Daniel Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
We roar from the base to the backfield floor. No filters, no fake control. We
So real here, like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks in the season. And you're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on that.
HG on deck, stats loaded and primed. Reading the field.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking one.
Breaking down ball like a heat wave blade.
Oh, let's go! Put him in there! Did not put him in there.
We see through the hype. Call out the Warriors.
So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that. You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
For your
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking live at Till the Final Whistle. HG and Caveman back in the house after a pretty long, action-packed weekend over there in Greeley, man. That was pretty cool show. First show of the year for Battleground. So that was a pretty good time out there. And with today's show, man, it's a sad time because we only got technically one more episode after today. for the football frenzy of this year. But heck of a season. One of my favorites to watch of all time in my whole life. I had a lot of fun watching this season. 2026 NFL year was pretty sweet. I mean, I'm excited for the Super Bowl, obviously, coming up. It's on my birthday, too. So I'm going to have the day off and be able to watch the Super Bowl. So that's perfect.
Nice.
Day off, birthday celebration. We got some mock drafts for everybody today. Last preview for the Super Bowl. And we got one last coaching hiring that is pretty major. After the Super Bowl on Sunday, it's looking like Clint Kubiak set to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders next year.
There you go. That's a pretty good signing for the Raiders. Obviously, that team, I think that roster still has some work that needs to be done with it, but if you can find a solid wide receiver, I mean, Clint did some pretty good things in New Orleans with Alvin Kamara, despite their offensive line kind of being limited when he was there. And I mean, even Seattle doesn't have the greatest offensive line, and even still, they were. I mean, obviously, they made it to the Super Bowl, so their offense had to be pretty successful. So I would, as a Broncos fan, I gotta admit, I am. I'm a little nervous to see what Clint might be able to do with guys like Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty.
He's a beast.
I think if anything, he'll be able to get a little more competency out of that.
They're definitely not going to be great next year, I don't think, but you're going to see a major improvement in the Raiders, where it actually looks like a genuine future for them and like a beginning of a rebuild. Because really now it's like, I think with his play calling, you already got a guy that's pretty loyal. If they go and draft Fernando Mendoza, got like a college veteran kind of player. Went to the dance a couple times, got to national championship, won it. Is a Heisman. I mean, you're getting like a veteran style college QB to come in if you pick him. Get a couple offensive line pieces and receiver. Yeah. I mean, you'll definitely bounce back from being one of the worst running offenses in the league with Genty.
That'll be what I mean, if they're smart, that'll be what their point of emphasis is building up their offensive line. And so, you're probably going to have a rookie quarterback. I would be absolutely shocked if they didn't draft Fernando number 1 overall. And then you want a good offensive line to protect your rookie quarterback, and so you can run the football better, which you have Genty is incredibly talented. I mean, like the few times this season, and I mean like very few times that his team blocked well for him, he looked just like a different player out there. He was, the power, the speed, he just has to not be getting contacted in the backfield constantly.
Yeah, there's not really too many running backs in the league that are going to succeed doing that all day long,
No, doesn't matter. So, yeah, Clint Kubiak, I definitely think that he was definitely one of the bigger names out there in terms of people that were in the coaching search. So that was a good one. This is honestly not a terrible one either. Head coach Mike LaFleur, Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur is now the Arizona Cardinals head coach, which that was just announced 2 days ago as well. So the Cardinals, I don't hate that. Like, obviously, when you work with Sean McVay, one of the best offensive minds in the league, and you've got guys like Trey McBride, Michael Wilson. You have Marvin Harrison Jr. still there. We'll see what the running back situation kind of looks like, but James Conner comes back. You still have Trey Benson. Can he stay healthy? And what that sitch will look like. You've already got a pretty solid defensive unit. I think the Cardinals, their big thing is they just couldn't stay healthy on that side of the ball. What'll be tough for Mike is like, what's their quarterback situation going to be looking like? Is Kyler Murray coming back? Jacoby Brissett definitely put up some good numbers. They didn't win a whole lot, but he put up some good numbers. So
I think they need to figure out what they can do with this new coaching staff and everything to keep Kyler Murray healthy, because they're wasting a lot of money on him. And I don't think he's on a contract year this year. So, I mean, it's not like he's going anywhere. I mean, you're giving the guy all that money to just not even be on the field.
Yeah.
Or even have any type of production. I mean, that's just, especially when you got a new head coach. If that kind of happens, I mean, if we don't see Kyler Murray play, he'll be on a new team very, very soon.
Yeah.
He'll be the newest Jet.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, I think every head coaching vacancy at this point has been filled, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else is still looking. Well, why don't we all go through and we'll read off head coaching hires and we'll give them a grade real quick for all of them. So we're going to start with the New York Giants and John Harbaugh. I give this one, I'm going to give it a B+. Obviously, Harbaugh's a very successful coach. I just think you look at especially recently, just limited postseason success, the blown leads. He's still a great coach. I think he's just a little old school in some of his coaching styles. Might be outdated, but I think, still a guy that will, how bad the Giants have been. I mean, he can certainly, with the talent that they've got there, he can certainly make them a bit more competitive and successful than they've been in recent years.
I mean, this is your best available guy right here that was actually looking for a job other than Kubiak, in my opinion. I mean, this was kind of the best available option too, the quarterback like that. I'm going to give him a B+.
Nice. All right, we've got Robert Saleh for the Tennessee Titans.
I like this one.
I will give this a B-. Obviously, Saleh's been a fantastic defensive coordinator. The Jets their defense played really well under him. So we'll see. I just again, with how limited the Titans roster is at the time as of right now. And I mean, they still have a lot of team building that they need to do. We saw that kind of be a struggle for him in New York as well, just not having a ton of talent there. But I think he's a good leader.
Now
should elevate the defense, which will help a young quarterback out. I'm cautiously optimistic about this one.
I'm pretty optimistic about it too. I'm going with the B+ here on this one as well. B+, A- if they make some great moves with this $100 million. So you got a former head coach as your new head coach. He's been around. You got some more skin in the game. Head coach, coordinator. Then you got your offensive coordinator now, who was just a head coach, and you got $100 million. Just don't screw it up for Cam Ward, and I think they will be just fine. Just don't screw it up, and in due time, I think they got a pretty good star on their hands.
For the Baltimore Ravens, they had hired head coach Jesse Mentor. They also snagged Bears OC Declan Doyle and Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver. Across the board, I gotta say, I think that's a solid A for me. I think Baltimore, what you really need right now is a defensive-minded coach. The defense the past 2 years has been a complete liability for you. You got to really just get that side of the ball settled down. I mean, especially in the secondary, there's plenty of talent there. And I think Jesse Minter, you look at what he's done with the Chargers, not a roster that's just jumping with superstar players by any means. I mean, there's plenty of good players on there, but like compared to some other teams, like they don't have like all these studs, and yet they were still such a good defense. I think he's going to be a good coach for him. And then, yeah, I think Declan, obviously, Caleb had a great year this year, so I think that's a good pairing there of head coach and OC, and you've got one of the premier quarterbacks in the league, and Lamar Jackson. And I think if you can keep him healthy and you give him a good defense, you'll be right back to the old Baltimore Ravens. Would you give this one?
I'm going with the A2 here just because I like that they're giving a younger coordinator similar to Kubiak and Kellen Moore. Just had a few years as OC jobs around the league, and then you finally get your chance. I just like that they're giving the OC these defensive coordinators more of a shot now. They're getting a lot more opportunities. And just like how you're saying, get a defense around Lamar, get him some weapons. You got yourself a recipe for his third MVP. Easy money.
All right. The Steelers, Mike McCarthy, they're hiring. This gets
This one's shaky for me.
I'm gonna give it a D. Man,
I'm only going with the C because I don't know what's gonna happen. They might be 10-7 again and be in the wild card.
Right. Like I think McCarthy, he's just the end of his coaching career before he got this job, man. It was just like
bad.
So it's like okay regular seasons or good looking regular seasons, and then just embarrassment in the playoffs. So I'm like, it's just like you just got white, fat Mike Tomlin. I don't. That's just it doesn't. This just doesn't elevate your ceiling at all. If you're Pittsburgh, like feels like you're just going to be stuck in that same cycle.
Well, it's like
of mediocrity.
Are they good? They've just kind of continued, and they're kind of locked in with Aaron Rodgers at this age in his career. And
if he even is still there, he might retire.
Yeah, it's like, what even really happens? The most important position right now is a pretty big question.
I just think, Mike McCarthy, you kind of what you're going to get, and it's not very different from what Mike Tomlin was going to give you. So I would have taken a shot on somebody new and upcoming. Or something. You got to do something different. But the Steelers just are they are way. I think they're just being too old school for their own good. All right, the Dolphins are going to go with Jeff Hafley. I'll give this a C plus. I do think. The Packers defense was fantastic. I think he was partially a Micah Parsons merchant. They were a lot better with Micah out there after his injury. There was a bit of a drop off on the defensive production on that side of the ball. They really struggled to get pressure. They had the blitz a lot more, and they weren't able to hold up as well in the back end. So, I think, you don't really have a player like Micah Parsons on the Dolphins defense. So it'll be interesting to see, what Hafley brings to the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, he's the former Packers defensive coordinator. But again, he's a new face in the head coaching game. And so it's, it couldn't hurt to try if you're Miami, I guess.
Yeah, I got him ranked around the same too. Just we'll see what happens. Kind of taking a chance on a young coordinator. He's had some success. That been a little bit rocky, but you're still getting a chance. I like it. Nothing wrong with that. But there's just a lot of work to do with the rest of that team.
Yeah. All right, Michael LaFleur. I'm going to give that. I'm going to give that a C plus. I just, when you have the benefit of working with Sean McVay and then also you have Matthew Stafford, Puka Nakua, and like a top 5 offensive line, you'll look really good. This Cardinals team's got a few more question marks that you might need to address. That's another one of those cautiously optimistic ones where we'll see, how much of the Rams' success was, was he more of a byproduct of Sean McVay's system, or was he, really that good of a coordinator?
Yep.
There's always that question when you come, we were asking that question about guys like, McVay and Matt LaFleur, like guys that came from the Shanahan coaching tree. And so, now McVay's starting to get his own coaching tree, and we'll see how, I think this is the first guy was Raheem Morris that was what worked under Shanahan. So we'll see how part 2, or under McVay. So we'll see how part 2 goes here with LaFleur. But again, one I'm optimistic about.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It is kind of in that C range.
Clint Kubiak. I gotta give this one. I think I'll give this an A. I don't know if any of these coaching hires are A+ in my head, but Kubiak's another one of those really good ones where it's just like a no-brainer. You saw, he was good enough with the limitations on, and some of the struggles that New Orleans had 2 years ago. He still has your guys' offense looking pretty good, and then he goes to Seattle, and Sam Darnold has another incredible season. JSN is like the best receiver in football. Your team goes to the Super Bowl. It's kind of like you gotta get a part of that, the OC that made that all happen. Especially when you have some absolutely generational looking offensive talent like Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty. You gotta try to get somebody in the building that can get the most out of those guys' potential.
This one's getting an A for me too, just because, man, wish we could have had this guy with Tyler Shuck and Kellen Moore this year. I wish we didn't have to part ways. I mean, got a great opportunity in Seattle to prove himself even more. Amazing team over there. Now he's in the Super Bowl this year, getting his first head coaching job. It was only a matter of time. Only a matter of time.
All right, we got Joe Brady, the head coach for the Bills, getting promoted from the offensive coordinator position. I'm going to give this a C.
This one is an F.
He's familiar with Josh Allen, so I mean, obviously, you're not going to have to reinvent the playbook, or Allen's not going to have too many new things to learn. But I just think that Brady, he's a solid offensive coordinator, but I think he really just benefited from having a guy like Josh Allen. This one doesn't really do too much for me. Like, there's familiarity there, so, and like Allen's obviously incredibly talented, so I think that it should still work out all right. But like I don't know if this is what gets Buffalo over the hump and gets them to the Super Bowl. I just don't.
Oh, they're further back. They're further from it. They should have hired. They should only have be on here. It should only say general manager in the hired list. It should only say general manager. Everyone should still be in their exact position on this team, except for Brandon Beane.
I agree with
That's the only option.
Facts.
This team, it's only a matter of time before they get worse and worse. Joe Brady and Brandon Beane, you scam artists. You scam artists, man. You guys are about to get exposed this year. Josh Allen's going to be pissed. We might even see Josh Allen miss a crazy extended period of time, and that might really prove it. I don't want to wish any injuries on him though. Hope he has a whole year. You don't want to miss any Josh Allen football.
That's true. All right. Our next one, we got Kevin Stefanski for the Atlanta Falcons. This is probably the one I'd put closest to an A+, but I'm going to keep it at an A. I mean, Stefanski got some real interesting Browns rosters to the postseason. And he's won Coach of the Year twice. I think him and Andrew Berry just ended up absolutely having a falling out.
Yeah.
Over Shedeur Sanders. Stefanski clearly didn't really want Shedeur, but Berry did. And like obviously that whole saga is sort of has made some people forget just how good of a coach Stefanski was before then. I think you put him here in Atlanta. Some question marks about Michael Penix for sure. Still, what are you going to do? Kirk Cousins is playing really well, so I'm sure that'll be an interesting decision. But I mean, the defense has really taken a step forward. Jeff Ulbricht's been fantastic, and they're retaining him for that role. You've got some exciting talent on both sides of the ball. James Pierce, Caden Ellis, Xavier Watts, Jesse Bates is still, and AJ Terrell are still fantastic players. So that he'll have to work with. And then, you've got Bijan Robinson, the best running back in football, with a great compliment in Tyler Algier there. Kyle Pitts is finally starting to look like the player we all thought he would be. Drake London I think has played himself as a top 10 wide receiver this year. So yeah, it looks really good for
good
Atlanta.
future.
Yeah. I really like this one a lot. I feel like a coach like Stefanski, like I said, like those Browns teams. I mean, like one time he went through like 4 different quarterbacks, and they won 11 games and made it to the postseason. So I think the Falcons they could definitely be a force to be reckoned with, and we might be back to having some just cinematic Falcons Saints games every time you guys play.
We'll be back to it. I mean, it's making our division look a little better now. Definitely.
And the last one that we haven't graded for head coaching hires, Todd Monken. The Cleveland Browns are going to hire him to replace Stefanski. I give this a C-. Monken's obviously a very experienced coach and coordinator around the NFL. Again, one of those kind of old school type of coaches. I think this will just be this won't change too much. I think the Browns should have been taken a bit more of a chance, and maybe just tried to go for some new bloods and one of these newer up and coming coaches here, especially with you've got a young quarterback. I think Monken's not a terrible OC, but I just think he was like Lamar Jackson was able to elevate that offense a lot for them. Because that we see when Lamar gets hurt, I mean, other quarterbacks would come in and it would be kind of a struggle for them to take the reins with the limited weapons that they had, and that's a big thing. Is like you've got a young quarterback that has very limited weapons on the offensive side of the ball. So
yeah, we'll definitely see this one.
I think some correct roster moves in I mean, he could do the right things, but I think like he might just be a little bit more indentured to his roster, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't. Their whole hiring process too just kind of seemed like
it's screwy. Yeah, that's why the Browns are just a clown show around the National Football League.
The rumors were coming out that they hired Mike McDaniel as their offensive coordinator before they even hired a coach, and all they'd done was interview him.
They're giving you homework. They're making you write essays, and people are like, "I'm not doing all this to coach the Cleveland Browns. You're crazy. You're out of your goddamn mind."
No.
All right, well, those are all of our head coaching hire grades. Let us know what you think about those. I think there were a couple of really head scratching ones. There were a few really good ones, and I think a lot of these guys, it's you got to be cautiously optimistic about, and that's usually the cycle with a lot of these coaches. There are very few that feel like they're misses or hits right out the gate. You kind of have to wait and see, but it will be exciting to see. We still got a long off season to go. All right, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna just hit a quick break here. When we come back, we'll go and get into our one more Super Bowl preview, and then we're gonna do our first early mock draft for this upcoming 2026 NFL draft. So don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching Till the Final Whistle here on Military Broadcast Radio.
Every setback is just a setup for a comeback. Keep quacking forward. 90% of what we worry about in future never happens. Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this. Storms pass. Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Dream big, start small, but most of all, start.
Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this. Storms pass. Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
All right, everyone. You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, and it's about that time. Coming up this Sunday is the Super Bowl. This is 60, right?
This is number 6.
Super Bowl 60, Patriots and Seahawks, and like a parody of those times just 10 years ago with theme like these two teams were in like your favorites to make it there in the preseason. But here we go. New eras in both of those franchises right now. And they will be facing off. Heavily favored right now is the Seattle Seahawks. So with only 1 point favorite, but matchup predictor right here on ESPN, 60% chance given the Seahawks. 60% chance to win the game.
They are 4.5 point favorites, it looks like, on the line. And over-under is set at 45.5. So, I mean, Drake May apparently dealing with a little bit of a stomach bug right now. So he's a bit sick. I feel like he'll be good to go, though, by the Super Bowl. I think that's just the media is trying to stir up drama more than anything. And you got the Italian mob boss, Tommy DeVito, to back him up if anything goes wrong. So the Patriots will be all right. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting matchup here. This is definitely the best team. I've been saying, like, this is the best team New England's played all season. But despite that, the easy schedule, like the Patriots, for the most part, have been pretty dominant. I think the big thing I'm looking for him to try to be a little aggressive early. That'll be the big key for New England. You're gonna try to have to back the Seattle defense off a little bit. Like when they smell blood in the water and they get to start creeping up and pressing up, I mean, they will just start getting after you. So I would look to try to dial up a deep shot, try to just at least throw the ball down the field, keep Seattle honest, try to keep those safeties backed off a little bit, especially Nick Emmanwori. Like if Seattle's able to just start letting that guy creep down into the box and play around the line of scrimmage, he can be super disruptive here.
They're definitely going to come out early in it. They saw Drake May get pressured all playoffs long. They're confident with their roster that they can definitely get after him. I mean, that's why I'm going. I'm still sticking with it. Nick Emmanwori, Super Bowl MVP, have himself a day. Just coverage, pass rush, just getting him at your nickel spot all day long, man. It's all you need.
The trenches are going to be interesting because, I mean, New England's really good when they can run the football here. You'll be looking at the interior of your offensive line. They're going to have a big challenge, and they did struggle a little bit with some of that interior pressure from the Broncos in the AFC Championship. And I mean, you've got maybe the best two defensive tackles in the league, or like the best tandem of defensive tackles rather, and Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams. Those two guys, I mean, they swallow up running backs, and Leonard especially has been fantastic about generating pressure on the interior.
And that interior pressure really just destroys the pocket for the quarterback right the second that you get through. And that's a broken play. When you can get good pressure up the middle, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. And then obviously we got a number of guys off of the edge too that could be making a difference. Derek Hall, DeMarcus Lawrence. They like to let the Wosu blitz off the edge. So, and you've got Ernest Jones there in the middle, another fantastic blitzing and coverage linebacker. It'll be interesting. I think a big thing in this one, because Seattle's interior offensive line, they've got Gray Zabel. The left side's really solid. They've got Gray Zabel. They've got Charles Cross. And even on the right tackle, Abraham Lucas is pretty good. Like the left side for Seattle is pretty good. Sundell's been solid. Anthony Bradford's the wild card here. This guy,
oh man, dude,
simultaneously like he can look like one of the most powerful, dominant offensive linemen on the planet, and then
he's got some good moments,
like where he just will dominate somebody, and then like he will be lost. Like this guy will blow his assignment. He has like. I've been following, I think his name's like Lou on TikTok, who just every week has like the Anthony Bradford all 22 film breakdown of just like the funniest moments. I mean, this guy can sometimes be a liability, but again, he also can be a really powerful lineman. And I mean, they've gotten to this, to the Super Bowl here, but I'm just saying like Christian Barmore and Milton Williams on the interior have been a huge difference maker for the Patriots, because those guys have been just shutting down the run.
He needs to
for New England
step it up. Bradford needs to have a day.
Patriots have been sending some more pressure in this postseason.
Their D line is like, it's also underrated. Like that Chase on guy, he was like a first round pick in 2020, right? He wasn't originally on the Patriots. but he didn't really have too great of first few seasons in the NFL, and just bouncing back, having a resurgence season there. Just a lot of really underrated and just guys you don't hear about a lot.
Yeah. And Harold Landry was a good signing. They got him from the Tennessee Titans. He can kind of do. He's mostly an edge rusher at linebacker, but he can do a little coverage and run fit as well. But yeah, Robert Spillane, Christian Ellis, those guys are both really good as well. So yeah, the front seven's been making some big plays for him for sure this season. It's gonna be really interesting to see like which team in the trenches is going to be able to establish the run. I think like both of these teams when they like the run game is going or they're able to work out of the play action. One for Drake May. Drake May is really good out of the play action because he's mobile. He can use his feet. And then like Sam Darnold, it just like when you have all that stuff going, like it really gets like he's really good at like, okay, like either JSN's gonna work open deep or like I'm gonna find my tight end or my running back and get to my check down. Like he's so quick about diagnosing that when he comes out of the play action where he needs to go with the football. So which I'm really looking for both teams to try to establish the run, but I think like the running defenses of both squads are going to be really good.
Yep.
I think the biggest matchup that's going to probably determine this is Christian Gonzalez on JSN. He'll be, and just, I mean, obviously, I think JSN is going to still see a good amount of coverage and like double coverage and getting bracketed and things like that. So, but like he can work through that if his primary defender is struggling to cover him. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to watch. I think it really determine everything.
Yeah, if he can beat the first guy, I guess he can control the space of the field and just kind of more or less like a box out on the other defender to get the catch.
So, and then yeah, I think I like Kubiak's ability to scheme more. What makes me nervous for the Patriots is like that, they're not going to be able to just play conservative like they did against the Broncos. I mean, like Seattle's just too well coached of a team. I think while the Patriots have been playing run defense really well, I think Seattle's offensive line, for all the issues I brought up for them, those have been pretty non-existent in the postseason. They've run the football really well. Kenneth Walker's super hot. So I mean, it's like I think their offense is going to be humming, and I think they're going to have to rely more on Drake May to step up and make plays, be a little loose with the football, and try to be aggressive. But again, this postseason, when he's done that, he has struggled to protect the football. And Seattle is an incredibly opportunistic defense.
It can get plenty of takeaways. We've seen that all year.
Right. And they've played some like, I mean, like they're just not going to get rattled. I think it's just you're more likely to see New England get rattled with like Seattle's. They've gotten down against some really good teams. The comeback against the Rams. They've went into a hostile environment in Santa Clara and held that team to 3 points with the 1 seed in the division on the line. And yeah, I just think that it's going to be a real uphill climb for New England. This is just that's going to be the biggest test. They've absolutely got, if Seattle doesn't come out of the gate strong, I think they could absolutely drag them into a dogfight, but I think they're going to really just have to execute their opening script and opening game plan really well, or else things could potentially get ugly.
Yeah. They don't want to.
But Vrabel's an excellent coach, and despite the easy schedule, I mean, Seattle's been, or not Seattle, New England's been very disciplined team for the most part. So, with the exception of a few one-off games where they had just like a slew of turnovers, they've been pretty good. So they just gotta hope. They gotta try to. They just don't want that New England team to rear its head. You know, they want the New England team that is hyper efficient, plays good defense and protects the football.
Yeah. They gotta play with literally no mistakes. Seattle is just kind of going to be waiting on them to make one. They've had a pretty much perfect postseason up till now. Not really turning the ball over too much. Sam Darnold's looking like a new freaking player out there, a whole new person. And I mean, their defense is always going to be great.
Right. And I mean, Seattle's been in these big games all season. I mean, we'll look at playoff teams that the Patriots have played, that they played in the regular season. So you have Pittsburgh, which is like, I mean, they were the worst AFC playoff team to make it. Then Carolina, the worst NFC playoff team to make it. They went 1-1 with Buffalo, so I mean, that only count. I'm only counting that as one more playoff team. They don't get 2 on there, so that's really it. And then you look at Seattle, the playoff teams they played. They had San Francisco, obviously made the postseason. They played them twice. They played Pittsburgh, beat them pretty handily. Jacksonville, Houston, played the Rams, who made the postseason, and the Panthers as well. So they're just a lot more. There's a lot more difficulty on their schedule.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that at all. I mean, Seattle wasn't. That was like what? That's like a second or third place schedule from Geno, and then this year going 14-3.
I think it was second because they went like 10-7, but like just barely missed out because Green Bay had the tiebreaker and got the 7 seed.
So really, I mean, they definitely had a harder schedule this year, but
yeah,
just barely out of the rankings from winning the division last year.
Right.
Well, when you go 4-13,
and I mean,
then hire a brand new head coach, they're definitely bound to have a good year with that record, with that schedule.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at like they played a number of teams that were also just like fringe playoff teams. You had Indianapolis, who like without some injuries could have definitely been there. You had Tampa Bay, and they got the Tampa early in the season when Baker was actually playing well. You know.
Yeah, that game was a shootout.
Yeah. Atlanta, I was honestly kind of just like on the fringes of being a playoff team, and they demolished them. In Minnesota, despite the 9 memes, they did win 9 games. They were kind of on the fringe there for a minute. And heck, they even got Tennessee once Cam Ward really started to hit his stride and play some of his best ball. So, yeah, Seattle, I think they're battle tested. They're proven. Even like New England, like they kind of got lucky draws in the postseason when you get playoff Herbert behind that awful offensive line. CJ Stroud just somehow had like one of the worst games I've ever seen a pro quarterback have in the postseason behind again, a pretty subpar offensive line in Houston. that has a really bad running game and was missing two of their top receivers. And then you get a backup quarterback who has to try to, and then you are only able to really score 3 points without the benefit of a turnover from that backup quarterback. So,
yeah, that is
it's just these two teams' seasons have just been like the polar opposites. Seattle's just been like, I mean, they played the LA Rams, who I think are the second, who you got to say are like the second best team in the NFL behind the Seahawks, just because the Seahawks beat them twice. But like that, I mean, those were like the top two teams in the NFL, and Seattle, you look at talent wise, I don't know if you can argue with that. And Seattle was able to come out of that victory twice. Come out with a victory twice. It is just a big uphill climb for the Patriots. But I think back to the Rams with Kurt Warner when they won their first Super Bowl. They ran into the Tennessee Titans with who was that? Was that it was Aaron McNair, I believe.
Yeah.
In '99. Which are I don't know if they were anywhere close to as good as the Seahawks team, but the Kurt Warner Rams had one of the easiest schedules of all time, including the postseason. Still went to the Super Bowl and won it. So,
yeah, they're meeting their match now.
Anything is possible. There is, and like despite the easy schedule again, like New England is an incredibly talented team. We just don't have too much to compare, like how this team does under pressure when they get their backs against the wall. They had the comeback against Baltimore, but that's like Baltimore's thing is to blow leads
they
like
sold
that.
that game.
Yeah. I mean, besides that, they got going into Foxborough, I think, and playing like a fully healthy Bills early in the season, or going into Orchard Park rather. All right, we'll drop your predictions. Let's give a final score prediction here for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
As much as I want it to be close, I am gonna go with like Seattle 38, New England 21. 38-21 Seattle.
I'm going 27-13 Seattle.
Okay.
A little bit more defensive there, but I think there's still probably be some action. Less offense, I'm assuming, from the Patriots with that score.
Gotcha. Super Bowl MVP, who do you got? You just sticking with Nick Emenwari?
Yep, going with Emenwari.
All right. I'm gonna throw out two predictions. I mean, I think it would just make a lot of sense for like Sam Darnold to toss like 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, win Super Bowl MVP. I could see that happening. Or I could see Kenneth Walker rushing for like 120 and having like 3 touchdowns.
That's true.
So I think it'll either be Sammy D or K9 that ends up with the Super Bowl MVP. Drop your final score predictions in the comments. Let us know who you think your Super Bowl MVP is. And we are going to go ahead. We're going to just go ahead and hit one more quick 20-second motivational break for you all. So I can run and go blow my nose. And then we will be back with our way too early 2026 NFL mock draft. So don't go anywhere till the final whistle. Football Frenzy here on MBR.
Small steps still get you to big places. Keep paddling.
Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
All righty, everyone. You are back and looking live at Till the Final Whistle. We've got a little bit of mock drafting for everybody. It's way too early. We haven't even reached the off season yet, but come on now. everybody wants to see. For the teams that are on vacation right now, I mean, everybody wants to know who their team's going after the draft right now.
Yes, sir. I got us right here. We got a little mock draft simulator here, courtesy of Pro Football Network. Unfortunately, they don't really. We can try, but I think I have to pay to upgrade a premium version to get trades. But we'll give it a shot if we want to throw some trades around. But K-Man, I got it. Hold on a second. We got it up here on the screen. How many rounds should we do? We want to just stick to one round? We want to do 2, 3? We probably don't have time for all 7, but only got an hour left.
Let's just do 2 for now.
Stick to 2 rounds?
Yeah.
All right, bam. All right, we will do all 32 teams. Let's enter the draft. All right. Well, I mean, pick number 1. Is there a whole lot of debate around this? Should we phone a friend?
Don't think so. Currently ranking Fernando's your best quarterback, barely closely followed by Ty Simpson. And then your third best available is Garrett Nussmeier. So, I mean, if they pick anybody else, they're just crazy.
Right. I think they're going to want a quarterback. Geno Smith didn't work out. Got to go with the Heisman winner, Fernando. That's going to be
got to get him.
1. All right, now we have the New York Jets. They're in a pretty interesting situation here. They definitely need I mean, they need a lot. They need a quarterback. They need to restock on defense. They probably are going to need a running back. However, you look at it, at this point in the draft, you can't take Ty Simpson. You look at some of the offensive guys that you might want to take at this point, but I think here you just got to go with the best available player on the board, and that's Arvell Reese.
This is kind of just your free pick right here.
So you just you go ahead, you fire off and take Arvell Reese. Now we come over to the Cardinals. They might need a quarterback. They could use some. I don't know if necessarily wide receivers in need for them. I feel like
this is where they go the boring route.
Offensive line might be
the best O lineman's probably going to the Cardinals right here.
Right. I mean, like Fanu's ranked as the 9th overall prospect. He's definitely the best offensive lineman that they need here. If you look at the defensive side of the ball,
and get Ruben Bain.
They could go get Ruben Bain. They did just pay Josh Sweat a ton of money.
Caleb Downs is one of your higher ranked players right
now. They have Buda Baker still.
Man, feels like they don't even really need any defensive players.
Right. I feel like if Arvell Reese,
the first overall pick.
Yeah, if Arvell Reese was there. This is a tough one. I feel like practically they should go with Fanu. Is that what they do? Maybe not. Let's see. Well, I kind of wonder maybe they try to trade back here. It's like a team that really needs I might want like an edge rusher here. See if them in Washington try to trade would orchestrate a trade. Where is my tripping? Where is the card? There they are. Let's just say they send like a 7th, 145th, and 223rd, as well as a 4th next year. We'll see if that trade has been rejected. See, sorry everyone, that could be a potential trade. I could see a team trying to trade up with the Cardinals to try to go get Ruben Bain, because I don't know if Ruben Bain's necessarily what the Cardinals need right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Okay, man. Would you say they go probably Fanu here, or do they take maybe a defense, or do they just say screw it and take Bane because he's best available?
I think they're probably just going to go with an offensive lineman. It's the safest route possible. It's either Fano or that dude from Miami. He's got a crazy name. His name's Francis, though. First name.
Francis Mayaga, I think.
Yeah.
Is his name.
That dude's also a beast.
All right. Next up, we got the Titans. They do need a wide receiver. However, I think that's might be a need that they address
later
in
on
the offseason or in free agency too. I think at this point,
Ruben
if
Dane.
Bane falls to you, need to try to get a premier edge rusher.
Yep, get Jeffrey Simmons some help
on the edge
on that line and just start building in the trenches. Just start building in the trenches, man. You got pieces.
Boom. Next up, we have the Giants, and I could see them going offensive lineman here, but I think, you know what? If Carnell Tate's just sitting there, they may take him and try to pair him up with Malik Neighbors. They might be boring and just go for an offensive lineman. I mean, obviously you've got Lomo, you've got Myogo there. Maybe they go interior, get Iona. Just but you know what? We'll be a little fun with this. I don't know. You want to say they go Cardinal Tate here, pair him up with Malik Neighbors?
I think that's the aggressive move that they should go for.
Give Jackson Dart just tons of weapons.
I like it. Either that or they go another boring route, get the best offensive lineman, and just continue building up. Because their defense really isn't that bad either. You know, like it can fix a lot of some of their issues in the offseason too. Or just later on. But I like them going with Tate.
Now we've got the Cleveland Browns. I think they have to go with the wide receiver.
This is who I originally was going to have picking Carnell Tate. Only because, I mean, the Giants won't go for him. But
with Harbaugh, yeah, they might be a little boring. Although I do keep seeing that people think they need another wide receiver, which makes me a little concerned, like how Malik's rehab is going, or if they just don't trust him to stay him to stay healthy on that MetLife turf, which could be a concern. So it would make sense that they might go and get another receiver just to have some insurance there. I think here we see Jordan Tyson probably go off, or potentially Caleb Downs, whoever's still here. But I think Cleveland, your defense wasn't really your biggest issue. You're kind of bought into Shador. Jerry Judy's your number one wide receiver. You need somebody else.
Yeah, they need to get.
So I think you got
either Jordan Tyson or Lemon.
Yeah, I think Tyson's just a slightly better option here. Then you have Washington. I think what they desperately need is some help with a pass rush off the edge. They've got some solid interior offensive linemen. Obviously, I see Keldrick Falk is up here, but I think David Bailey. I think they've probably got those guys switched. I think David Bailey's the better overall prospect. He might be the best edge rusher in the draft, low key. Obviously, Bane's a beast, but I think Bailey might be the best overall edge rusher in this draft.
Yeah.
I don't know. You agree with that sentiment? You got any other different thoughts on that?
They really do. I'm either going. I initially got him going with Caleb Downs, just because I mean, I think anything to help out their defense.
That's true.
Is really either in the secondary or an edge rusher. Anyone on that defense would help them.
They do. Obviously, you can see here edge. You say that's a bigger need, but a player like Caleb can be really. I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to find like a more complete safety prospect, and they really struggled in the secondary. I say that's a good shot there. They go with Caleb Downs here. So then your Saints, that leaves the question: do they want to go for an edge player? Are they looking for? I'm gonna kind of leave this to you. You're the Saints expert in the house, so I think you just tell me who to click here.
What's
we're gonna go with
it? Actually, all right. I just want to see what our team needs. It says edge, guard, receiver, corner. Okay, tight end. That's pretty much our glaring issues. I mean, we could go. We're going away from the offensive line here. I think there is a huge potential that this season was the very last season with our boy Cam Jordan. Yeah. I think it could be his last season. It's also looking like Demario Davis might shop around in old free agency after his 140 tackle season at 30 something years old. So I think right here we go, the defensive lineman.
You like who'd you prefer more, Bailey or Falk?
I'm feeling Bailey more in this scenario. A lot of the mock drafts have us picking Jeremiah Love, which is really, really who I want to go for. But like,
I could see it. I think we're not gonna really know for sure until free agency hits. What does Kamara want to do? That's the tough part about doing these mock drafts before free agency gets done. Is you just like there's so many. You're like so many. I'm not sure like what this guy's gonna do. It's tough to.
Because if I had to really hope, backfield with Kamara and Jeremiah Love would be pretty sick. That would be sick. And then we kind of just hope that he stays. But I like Bailey. So I like the Bailey pick.
This does prove an interesting dilemma here because now you've got obviously a guy that's projected as on this side at least as a top 5 prospect. One of the big needs, I mean, Kansas City does need some pass rush, but they also need a running back. You've got Jeremiah Love and Falk both sitting here. As much as I want to just say that no, this player that I really don't want, I think is going to be really good, won't go to the Chiefs. I kind of feel like that
might happen.
They don't want Mahomes to be their leading rusher in the majority of their games coming off of an injury.
If he's there, he's going to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think he's going to go. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping you guys draft him to try to save the league really from that. All right. Now we come over to the Bengals here. I mean, there's 2 great options. I think they got to go on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe they go O-line to try to protect Burrow. But I think, like right now you're staring down, you got Peter Woods, you got Falk both here. I think they got to go with the edge more than anything. They obviously need a lot of help on the defensive line. And I think you got to go with Keldrick over Woods, but it's they're right around the same in terms of value for Cincy there. But I think we go with the Tiger, some of the Tigers.
Going with Falk.
All right, here we go. We've got the Dolphins. I really think they got to draft a corner. I think that's their big thing. They really just need like a good shutdown guy out there. And Mansour Delane. I think he's the best available corner in this draft. I think he's the best.
Either him or McCoy, Jermod McCoy from
Tennessee. I think like Delane was he didn't get enough recognition with how mid LSU was, but he was like legitimately like a defensive player of the year candidate in college. I forget what the name of that award was. Ultimately, that went to Jacob Rodriguez, but like Delane's just he's great speed. He's great man to man. He's a bigger corner with great length. I think he's just like as a prospect about got the most raw potential. This is who I got Tennessee taking, or not Tennessee, Miami.
Yeah, there's not a lot of corners available in this draft either. At least for like the first
it's
first few rounds.
It's pretty top heavy. You've got, I mean, obviously you've got the lane. I really like, I mean, Terrell's solid. McCoy's good. I mean, like Colton Hood's all right. I think Abney's a little slept on. But a lot of these guys, like there's some, I just don't like a lot of these guys don't have like insane ceilings in my, at least in my eyes. So
Yeah.
with with this, I could just see like, the lane's like one of the few where I think is gonna he's got just a much higher ceiling. All right, we have the Cowboys. Right now, the need is defense. I know we said Peter Woods is sitting there. I don't think they need an interior defensive line though with Quinn Williams. I had to pick someone. I think you got Sonny Siles sitting here. You do need a middle linebacker pretty badly. Could maybe go with a cornerback. I mean, McCoy's sitting there. I think it's either Styles or McCoy at this point would have to be who the Cowboys go with.
Yeah.
Who would you lean towards? I'll let you get the final verdict here.
I think Sonny Styles honestly kind of fit more into what they're really gonna have to do eventually on that team. I think it'll be a pretty solid fit in what they got going.
Okay. I think now we come to the Rams. They're probably losing somebody at the tackle position. And so I believe Stafford's coming back. I'm thinking like they're going to be looking to draft a premier O lineman to make sure they can give their older quarterbacks some protection, try to run it back one more time. To me, that's Magoa.
Yeah.
Magoa. However you say his name. Francis. This site's got Lomo ranked ahead of them. I think Lomo's third though. I think Francis has to be the number 2 prospect here. So I would say.
Oh yeah, this site actually's got Francis number 1 with Spencer and Caden Proctor at third.
Okay, well, yeah, Proctor's actually he's a little slept on. I think Fana is the best, but just because like it's his size combined with like his
this is the reason that Fano's the best. So for the 4.9 40 time at 300 pounds, right? Like the guy's a freaking beast.
He can move, and I think like he's big, he's strong, and he's got quickness to deal with like elite edge rushers. So
out of anyone in the top 12 for offensive line prospects, his 40-yard dash clears them. And he's the same size as just about everybody, 6'6", 302. The guys that are around his size they've got tenths of seconds on it behind him on his time.
All right. Well, here we've got the Ravens. I mean, obviously they're going to probably want a wide receiver. They could go Mekhi Lemon here, but I think they also need help on the D line, and
they got to pick a receiver, man.
Peter Woods is right there. Do they pass on him? If they do, I think they got to go Lemon. Lemon's the best available at wide receiver.
Yeah, they got to go with Lemon or Peter Woods. Does Minter want to keep building on the defense and just trust
that's where I'm
Lamar, or do they want to finally get him some weapons?
I feel like that.
Their Pro Bowl receiver, Zay Flowers, had more fumbles than touchdowns this year.
It's definitely not a terrible wide receiver. What do they call it? Free agent class. I mean, it's not super elite, but I mean, there's like definitely some higher quality guys. Juwan Jennings, Diami Brown, Christian Kirk, Mike Evans. So I don't know. I feel like when you have like a defensive minded coach like Minter, And it's a relatively deep wide receiver draft class. Like I think there's plenty of guys that could still be
Concepcion in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I don't
And I
know
mean,
if he'll
like,
be available for him later on,
but even like you look
he's
at some of
there.
the guys projected later, like Jeremy Bernard, Chris Basil, Skylar Bell is fantastic. Even Omar Cooper. I think it's a deeper wide receiver class. And when you have like a prospect as elite as Peter Woods, if he falls to Baltimore with a coach like Minter, they would go
It's
with
a
him.
good spot for him.
I think they'll have enough confidence that like Lamar can again like we'll make do. And I think with some later round picks.
Yeah, if they go this route early and just still get him some pieces, because I can't do it alone. He's just gonna keep getting hurt out there.
And they'll have Derrick Henry as well. So yeah, it's they just need to get that guy a weapon. But I think they can build that with a deeper class. They can still find some, and they can probably sign like a solid veteran free agent, draft somebody round 2 or 3, and get an elite defensive player in the first round. All right, we got Tampa Bay. Interesting here. They might need edge. They could use the linebacker, tight end, maybe some interior offensive line here. I could even see cornerback potentially, even though that's not listed as a team need. But they did really struggle getting pressure.
Yeah.
So I think an edge rusher's they might reach a bit here to go for an edge rusher. I mean, TJ Parker is the next projected highest guy here. However, I mean, I'm just thinking like maybe like they reach slightly and they just grab Kenyon Sadiq here.
That's what I was thinking too. That it's a slight reach, but it would definitely help him out.
Be beneficial.
Definitely help him out
for him. So, because I think that could be just something that could be big for Baker to have is like a safety valve player like that, and like with he's one of the most insanely athletic tight end prospects.
He's really fast
in a while, yeah. So, definitely could lean on that guy. So we got the Jets here who ended up taking. They went with Arvell Reese here. So now looking at they have the Colts pick here. Do they go offensive side of the ball here? Do they get whoever their quarterback is? Is Garrett Wilson going to still be there? Do they go and draft another wide receiver, or do they keep it on the defensive side of the ball? Try to find Sauce Gardner's replacement? Questions. Do they take a shot and reach slightly and grab Ty Simpson here?
I really could see them going after Ty Simpson. How early is their second round pick?
Their second round pick, I believe they got the 33rd. So they literally have the first pick of the second.
Oh, they might. I think they get Ty Simpson at 30, 31, or was it 33?
Yeah.
Maybe Ty Simpson at 33, and then you keep it on defense right now, or Mekhi Lemon is right there.
Top defensive prospects. I mean, they could feel like it might make
McCoy
sense
right there
to go McCoy, or Caden McDonald's sitting here. He's a pretty good prospect. They could use somebody in the interior. Although I kind of like just going with McCoy. That you didn't get any interceptions last year.
Yeah, they kind of need
an injection in the secondary there.
Like,
I would
holy crap.
Go get Jermod McCoy. You also traded away like a top 10 type of caliber.
Traded away your best defensive back
player, yeah. And
you're already having a season like that. Like, nah.
All right. So then we come over here to the Lions. Maybe it says the center's their biggest need, but you look at the centers in this year's draft.
There's Jake Slaughter and Connor Liu.
There's some good ones.
Top two.
Just don't know, if these guys are any of them are first round caliber, if you waste a first round pick on them. I mean, the combine might change this, but at this current time, I don't know if that any of them are worth taking. However, they could also they could kind of use a tackle. It says edge is a need, but I mean, they do have Hutchinson, and you've got a really good tackle sitting here. Doesn't make
Yeah.
I don't hate that. I mean, Detroit really is really successful when they're built in the trenches. And I think that could be something that they look to target here.
They did hire what's his name as their OC. They got a guy that does like to run the ball a lot. So getting a lineman does make sense.
The trenches, and that's the best available lineman here. They could maybe go for Iona, but I think like Loma's a little bit better to take at this spot. All right. We've got the Vikings potentially looking for a corner. They can maybe use a safety. It says running back, but after what's his face, Love, there's kind of a drop off. I mean, like these guys are solid, but none of them are like really first round. There's not like a lot of first round talent type of guys for this draft here. So this one, I mean, Terrell's on the board. They maybe they take him. It'd be interesting to see like Justin Jefferson drama. Like maybe they have to go and get another.
Yeah, what if he's in a trade talk or something?
That's true. However, I think they're probably just going to go and grab the best available corner, which in my opinion would be Terrell. I don't know. Do you think they might reach up or go back and go for like a Colton Hood or a Keith Abney? I feel like they're probably going to go Terrell here.
Probably go Terrell.
Yeah.
If they do go with the corner.
So boom, we'll fire that off. I think that makes the most sense for the Vikings. All right, then we got the Panthers. They could use some edge help. They might need could go some offensive line in the secondary here. Kind of interesting. I wonder where they might go. I mean, it's kind of boring, but Proctor kind of makes sense to me. Try to protect Bryce Young's on the edges here. They could, I mean, it's not their biggest need, but like to go and get like an edge player at this point, it's a bit of a reach on some of these guys. I think R. Mason Thomas, they have him ranked a little too low, but I just think they don't really need the interior is solid. I mean, they could go for Iona, but I think Proctor just he wouldn't have to play out of position. He would just fit better.
I like them going with Proctor. Their run game was like they'd want to build on that too. They got some pretty solid running backs. If they're able to re-sign Rico Dowdle too, and that would be a huge pick, O-lineman here.
All right, so boom, they're gonna go Caden Proctor. All right, now we've got the Cowboys
again.
Kind of looking for. This is where I think they might be boring, and they just go and take like another offensive lineman.
Yeah,
go Iona. I don't think they like, or either that or they start to reach. They've reached back a bit because there's for a cornerback or an edge player. But I think they probably just will go and that way they at least have options and maybe they can move people around, but they just grab Iona here. All right. Steelers, do they draft Ty Simpson?
Oh, they could. They definitely could.
This is one of those where it's like, we don't know what Rodgers is going to do. Man, I really don't think he's going to retire for something tells me like he's got a little too much pride and ego that he might try to run it back. But now that they hired McCarthy, now I'm like, maybe it's like, all right, actually.
Yeah, maybe it is time for me to pack it up.
I All right, we got to determine in this scenario, has Aaron Rodgers retired or not?
I'd rather it be that he does retire.
He does retire. Then I think this might be the spot they go and take a shot on Ty Simpson. Because who's their they have Will
Mason
Howard,
Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph, yeah. Screw it. Boom. They're gonna go ahead and fire it off, take Ty Simpson there. All right, now we got the Chargers. I mean, I think have to draft interior offensive line. So I know this might be a bit of a reach. I think he's ranked too low. I think Pregnon is at a high second rounder at worst.
Let's see what this site's got him up at.
I'm a little surprised at the A&M guys. I think Emmanuel's been the second.
We got him at 6th here on this site.
That's out of total offensive linemen.
Yeah, that's just all offensive linemen.
Okay. So I think this is one of those instances where we kind of ignore the ranking here because I think he's ranked too low, and they go and take this guy. The interior of their offensive line.
They need it. Yeah.
I mean, like if Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater are healthy, you're fine at the tackle positions. They just weren't healthy this year, but like the interior for 2 years in a row has been easily the worst part of that offensive line. All right. Eagles here. They says edge is their biggest need. And this might be another instance where we have to kind of ignore where people are ranked. I do think, like an edge rusher could be good for them. Or again, they might go for like an interior offensive lineman, which where's he at? Then you've got where'd that A&M guy go? Here it is. Bisontis. However you say his name. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this one, Kevin? I'm a little unsure on what the Eagles might do here.
I think they just want to get their offensive line back to somewhat of a future of pass form for freaking Saquon Barkley to ball out again. So,
although, call me crazy, maybe they go receiver because AJ Brown's requested the trade.
Ooh.
You know what?
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that.
Throw Makai Lemon on there. They draft a replacement.
AJ Brown drama
for AJ. Let's make sure my computer's not going to die. All right, I'm gonna plug this in, but the Browns here now. They could use some offensive line, but I mean, I know they just took Mason Graham, but like, man, I don't know. Ken McDonald's still there. However, I don't know how practical that is for them. They might be the team that reaches back a bit to grab that A&M guy. What's his name? Bisonis. Because I mean, you've got the weapon for Shador. Do you draft another wide receiver? I don't think so. You've already taken Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, this is probably where they reach back a bit. But I mean, who's the best available on defense?
That would be McDonald. But again, like they drafted Mason Graham with the top 5 pick last year.
They don't really need that.
Maybe they go like they get a corner, they go Colton Hood. But I think it's got to be somebody on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Maybe they go actually. So they go on interior. They go with Monroe Freeling from Georgia.
That's true. A
tackle protect that blind side for Shador. That's probably a little bit better. I think we go with Freeling here.
I like that. They got him a receiver. Get him a lineman now. Yeah.
At least try to help your young wide receiver out. All right, then we got the Bears. I think actually this works out because on Chicago, I mean, perfect. This is like a huge point of need for them. They need an interior. And so you've got Caleb Banks or McDonald sitting here. I think McDonald's a little bit better, so they would probably go with him.
Yeah.
So throw Cade McDonald. That fits really well. Now the Bills, they need a wide receiver. Did they go Concepcion? I kind of feel like they'd go with like Denzel Boston here, though. I feel like Concepcion, I like him. I think he's ranked a little too high, though. And like it's Buffalo, so I mean it's got to be one of those two guys. I feel, unless we want to pull up the full wide receiver list. Who else aren't they go with here?
Let's see the full list.
There's Chris Bell, Surratt's down there a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I would probably pick between one of those two
Denzel
guys.
Boston. I think they go with Denzel Boston just because they want to go with the big, fast target. He's 6'4". Got around the same 40 time as Concepcion, and I mean they already got Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna build like a guy that put in the slot, they already kind of have him, and he already kind of does that in their offense. So I think either Boston or Bell. Well, I'd like Boston more.
All right, we'll fire off Boston for him. All right, the Niners here. They could potentially. I mean, Ayuk's probably gone. They might lose. They're probably going to lose Jawan Jennings in free agency. Is this like? Do they go and take Concepcion here, or do they try to go and shore up the edge? Do they go for a guard here? What do you think the move is? Or honestly, this doesn't seem too outlandish to me. They jump up and take like either like McNeil, Warren, or Halsey and try to get somebody in the secondary. Although you could also see them maybe trading back a little bit, like trading back to 30, and like the Broncos trying to trade up, or even like the Patriots.
Yeah.
To grab somebody here. But I mean, I'll give it a try, but I feel like it's just going to reject the trade. So let's see. We've got the 49ers. We've got the Broncos. So for the 27th, 30th. Let's just see if that will work just straight up. Oh, there we go. Good one. So you have to just keep it super simple. So they trade up and they go and grab Concepcion. Let's do it. There we go. All right. So maybe we can do some trades. We just can't keep it too simple. The UI of this site's a little weird. All right. Texans need. I mean, they could use some interior offensive line help, but I think they're losing one of their D tackles in free agency. I don't think he's coming back. And I mean, Vayla Banks is sitting
right there. Right there.
Would make a lot of sense.
It's a team. They got to keep building their defense, man. And they got to stay healthy.
Boom. So now we've got the Rams. They're gonna. We took Mayaga or Francis with their first pick. So I think now you should go with a corner. I think that's probably their next big.
Wood here wouldn't be bad. I mean, CJ Allen, get like a middle linebacker.
It's true.
Out there.
They've got Landman. Landman was pretty.
Landman's
solid.
pretty good, yeah.
I feel like they would probably go with Colton Hood here.
Get a corner in there.
Maybe him or Abney. Which would you? Because they don't really need a lot of D line help. Maybe they go Allen. Potentially get a running mate to go alongside Puko at receiver, but Adams I think will probably come back. So I think corner makes the most sense here.
Yeah.
Who do you like more, Hood or Abney?
I would say Hood. I think he would be a good fit for them. They've got Curl and Kinchins out there, and there's a lot of other young guys. I think they could make something work with Wood.
I think since they traded back, Niners just at 30. He's the 30th ranked prospect. They just dropped TJ Parker. You've got what's his face still dealing with that injury, Bosa. So they could use a good edge rusher. Although how's Fred Warner's rehab going? Do they maybe need some help at middle linebacker?
True.
Interesting. That'll be interesting to think. But I think they'll probably go with Parker.
Yeah.
We'll fire that off. All right. Well, hey, then you know what? I could see the Patriots going and drafting Allen then.
That's true. I don't know if it's like.
I don't think they have like. Let's see who the middle linebackers are.
I don't think they're gonna give Robert Spillane the bag.
I don't think so. I feel like Spillane's probably gonna want to get paid more.
Are they gonna pay him? Or are they just gonna go after a young guy, try to make their new prospect at linebacker?
I mean, Spillane's a good player, but I think Allen's got far more potential. All right, then they're gonna have the Seahawks here to conclude round 1. Do they look to re-up in that secondary? Do they go for an interior offensive lineman? I mean, I feel like it'd make more sense to draft an offensive lineman, but also you want to keep building on that secondary, especially because I don't think you're going to be able to pay all those guys. I don't know what the contract specific situations are. I imagine one of those guys is probably gone. I don't. If they're not all if it's a contract year for any of them.
I think they've got a couple. They've got a lot of money available too, almost $90 million. So honestly, I kind of still like them going with Keith Abney, even if they do keep their corners and he's kind of just a depth piece.
That's what
they go for.
That couldn't hurt. All right, so now we come to the Jets.
Oh yeah, we picked Ty Simpson already, so
yes, no Simpson here. I mean, do they reach up and do they draft Trinidad Chambliss?
Ooh.
It says he's all down here at 100, but I mean, I imagine that would change. I kind of don't hate that.
I don't either. I like that.
I think he's a better prospect than people are giving him credit for. He's just got great ability to create off schedule. I mean, look how Jackson Dart has a ton of upside, and that's another product of Lane Kiffin. I think he's more pro ready than people think.
Definitely more pro ready than Garrett Nussmeier and
or even Carson Beck.
Taylon Green.
Yeah. So screw it. I say they draft.
Let's go Trinidad. I like it.
We're gonna just get a little crazy out here. All right, the Cardinals took Fanu with the first pick we gave him.
We tried to trade it, but it wouldn't let us do that one.
Let's see now. I mean, maybe they could go interior offensive line. That's a bit boring though. Do they go and get some help in that secondary? Yeah, let's see if they'll just there's somebody that will trade with them. You know what? The Colts, they didn't have a first round pick. Let's see if we can make a trade there. I wonder if they have to just keep it with things within the sim. So
yeah, it might have to be the same round and close enough to each other.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right. Let's see. How about the Falcons? They didn't have they pick even further back though, so that's not gonna work. All right, we're gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna just see if I can, because I could see either of those teams trying to trade up. Cardinals. Let's go. Bam. That's a little bit lopsided. I'm just seeing to see if I can get them to accept it. They probably wouldn't give them that lopsided of a trade, but so Indy, what do we think Indy's team needs are? Could use they could use an edge rusher. I mean, Christian Miller here as a defensive tackle could be big for them. Or maybe they go wide receiver. They take Chris Bell. They're probably losing Alec Pierce.
That's
free
true.
agency.
Alec Pierce might get some money. Might get a little bag, go somewhere else. I like that. I like that. They go with that pick, Bell.
Chris Bell it is. All right, then we got the Titans who took Ruben Bain. I think now might be a time for them to, even if it's a bit of a reach, good place to take a wide receiver. Go with
I think Surratt would be
Elijah
a beast
Surratt.
for him, dude. He's freaking like 6'5". It's a tall red zone style target for Cam Ward.
Yeah, I think let's get that. Get your guy, somebody else to throw the football to. We'll fire off Elijah Surratt. The Raiders, they took Fernando. Now
That's
I
their
think the big
best
thing.
up O lineman.
I think that's Chase over here. That's probably
Chase. Is he a guard?
he is a guard. I think that's a big. That'll be important. I mean, we could go like with Chase, or we could maybe take like, man, Parker Brailsford. I haven't seen him ranked this high. For me, like I thought the top two guys were Slaughter dropped this far on this one. That's weird. I thought it was Slaughter and Lou, but maybe we go Connor Lou. They could go center. I think the Chase is a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll drop him. We'll throw him in there. Gotta protect the interior there. All right. Then we have
Giants back on the clock.
They took Carnell Tate.
Ooh.
So now they could use maybe like an offensive they only had one first round pick, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they go, I mean, you've got Blake Miller, although there's also some interesting prospects at safety potentially. Maybe they go with is that pronounced Sissy or Sissy?
I think so. Or like Sice.
Sice. Okay. Could go Brandon here. Maybe Anthony Hill Jr. Although I know he's not the highest rated, but I feel like Amari Ramsey might be just a better scheme fit for him.
That's true. That's true.
This is an interesting spot for them for sure.
They didn't. I don't know if any other interior defensive lineman on like a contract here or anything, because if a team maybe goes after Dexter Lawrence,
that could be true.
I don't really think they touch any of that though, because that's your bright side.
I think they're good. They're pretty good on the D line for the most part. I think with a secondary player would probably make the most sense, or maybe O line. But
I'm thinking O line here.
Go Blake Miller.
Yeah,
try to protect your young quarterback's blind side. All right, the Texans here. They already took a defensive lineman, I believe. They got Peter Woods. They could maybe use interior offensive line.
Definitely.
Although I don't know. I think they might be losing Azeez Al-Shaair. Draft his replacement, Anthony Hill Jr.
I think their O line was so bad though that they that interior just makes the most sense.
It's true, even if it's not super strong. I think maybe. All right, I think we go and. I think Connor Lou is probably the best prospect. I don't know why this site's got some of them ranked weird, and like why Slaughter's so low. I think we go Connor Lou here.
I like it.
What's the? I don't know if that list that you have pulled up of a stats says something different, but that just makes more sense to me.
This one I know it's got it had Jake Slaughter ranked up out of all the offensive linemen higher than Lou.
Okay. All right. Well, then we have the Cleveland Brownies. Let's see, who have we taken for them? They've gotten Jordan Tyson, and Monroe Freeling. They could potentially use another interior offensive lineman as well. Potentially a center. Maybe they go with Parker Barrelsford here. I feel like this is where you kind of just get boring, but you got to build the trenches. Don't really need the D-line help. Again, like the secondary, as of now, I don't think it's your biggest concern, even though like there's a lot of good talent there. What are your...
I mean, I feel like they will have some opportunity to try and get another corner or secondary player later on. That'll be pretty solid because coming up after you got Cowboys, Broncos, Lions, and the Packers. Maybe only the Packers and the Cowboys I could think of maybe need a DB at this point in the draft.
Yeah.
Or at least with the picks coming up. Probably the boring route here.
Yeah.
In the offensive lineman.
This is probably your next best available
Parker
center.
Bradford.
Boom. All right. So then we got the... Sorry, I'm on the wrong. I'm over. Okay, now we got the Chiefs coming up. Actually, they need somebody on the interior. I don't know what Chris Jones' situation is going to be. Could use another corner, but I think Kristen Miller is probably the best available player here. You go ahead and just take that guy in for your interior defensive line.
Yeah,
makes the most sense there.
Somebody got Caden McDonald already, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And
the Bengals, they took an edge player. I mean, now you either need a cornerback or a safety. I mean, here are your top two prospects here. I think who would be probably better for them, more beneficial?
Definitely, probably the corner here.
Corner.
They need some help in the secondary back.
That's what I was thinking too. So, guy on the edge there. Now the Saints. Who did we have them take? You guys took
again.
I'm blanking.
We went with
David Bailey. That's right.
David Bailey.
Now, I mean, do you look for some weapons on offense? Do you want to? I mean, how's your secondary and the safety position? Because there's a lot of good safeties out there still.
Well, I mean, we got Alontae Taylor going into a contract year right now. We still got Justin Reed. We still got Jonas Sanker. So I think we might be good in the safety department, but I do know we might be losing Alontae Taylor.
Okay, because I'm thinking maybe behind Olave, the wide receiver, you're kind of thin at wide receiver, so I could see like Jacoby Lane potentially. Or Taylor's a safety, right? Or no, or is he your corner?
He's a corner, yeah.
That's right. Okay. I mean, you got got Chris Johnson, D'Angelo Pond still. Ooh. I mean, so like I'm thinking like maybe Johnson or Lane is my guess.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it to you. You're the Saints expert here.
Oh yeah, Chris Johnson is there. In my personal Saints mock draft, I got us going and getting Chris Brazel with our second round pick, and getting him with
okay. I don't hate that either.
But Brazel. I like Jacoby Lane as well. I like Lane here.
For this one, you want to take Lane then?
Yeah.
All right, boom. Fire that off. So Jacoby Lane. All right, we're gonna try to go a little more rapid fire just so we have some time to review this because we obviously gotta
Oh, yeah.
end the show a little early so you can get to your job interview you got coming up here. So the Dolphins, well, here they are. They took a corner. They got Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, they probably also they might need somebody to replace what's his name, but I think they take a safety here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just try to help out with their secondary some more because I think that was a big issue. Again, like if Tyreek Hill's coming back, what are they going to do with Jalen Waddle? A lot of questions there, but we're going to go ahead and we'll just fire off Halsey for him. Now the Jets. Let's see. They went Trinidad. They went Arvell Reese, Ramad McCoy. Now they could also use a safety, so maybe Kamari Ramsey here for them.
Yeah, they do. They do need a safety. I mean, they got no interceptions last year.
That might be more important than an edge rusher. They do still have McDonald there. All right, the Ravens, I believe so. Now this is where they probably go wide receiver here for sure. After drafting Peter Woods.
Well, Chris, with Brazel still being available, that's the type of guy that they've been needing in their offensive. Big body dude.
Big body, deep threat type of player. Yeah, I think
perfect fit.
That makes a lot of sense here. And then we went Sadiq for Tampa, so I think Overton's probably a good fit here. They still need edge. We'll fire him off. Then the Cardinals, who traded back, they went with Fanu. Who else do they have? Just Fanu. So here they could go with another offensive lineman. They could kind of use a corner, so maybe Chris Johnson.
I like that.
Boom.
I like that.
Atlanta, I think, is in the market for offensive line. Anchor's the best available right here at Arizona State. I think that just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
The Vikings took a safety. They could be looking for. I mean, I was going to say we could maybe have them take a running back, but they do still need the safety. And I mean, I can't imagine they'd let McNeil Warren slide this much further. I think we go.
Yeah,
take him there.
No.
Bam. All right, then we've got Detroit, who I believe we had to take. They take Caden Proctor. I think we had them take O-line.
Yes.
Oh, they Loma.
Or Loma, yeah.
I think now or Mason Thomas, a fantastic edge player out of Oklahoma, falls right into their lap there. Carolina, let's see. I think we had them go. They took Proctor. I mean, they could also maybe use an edge rusher. Cassius Howell is available. I know they need like a safety. You've got Genesis Smith here. Although this is kind of the splashy, I mean, the bigger name guy, D'Angelo Pons out here.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think we'll go with that. That's definitely a position they could use.
I like that.
Green Bay is also going to need some guys in the secondary. I think Keontae Scott makes the most sense there. I mean, I think corner will be the big thing for them to grab. So we'll fire off Keontae Scott here. All right, so Steelers went with Ty Simpson. They could potentially use a running back, or I mean, rather a wide receiver. Jeremy Bernard's here, or you could go offensive guard, get Rutledge. But I kind of like pairing up the college teammates and the pros. It's like the crappier version of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Boom. All right. I think now the Eagles, we had them take a potential replacement for A.J. Brown and Mekhi Lemon. Now you need an edge player, Cassius Howell.
Perfect.
Snag that guy up there. The Chargers still probably need to go interior offensive line, but They could use a safety too. I mean, this guy's a little bit better. They don't have to reach as much. Genesis. Then we got the Jaguars who are getting their first chance to draft somebody. Looking at just best available. Maybe they go for a wide receiver. They could potentially use a running back.
Yeah, I mean, maybe let's look at the available running backs right now, because if Singleton is up there,
Emmett Johnson.
Emmett
Singleton's
Johnson.
down there. I think it's looking like they're saying the trenches are a bigger need, and I'm seeing Isaiah World there from Oregon, or like even Julian Neal if they wanted to go corner. But T-Law was like an MVP finalist, so I'm like, maybe we worry about protecting him.
Protect him more than.
All right, then we got the Bears. They could use maybe an edge player, but I think another safety potentially, or a linebacker. I mean, Anthony Hill's dropped pretty far.
I think right now they might just go best available if he's there, because there'll just be a piece in their defense. And I mean, their middle linebacker spot, I feel like they could put him right there.
Oh, definitely. The Niners, it's like we had them take TJ Parker. I think now this is where you could go offense and get a wide receiver. I like Omar Cooper. I think Skylar Bell's better. Who do you think they would take?
Honestly, I feel like they would go with Cooper, just because the Indiana presence.
Gotcha. Texans. We got. Let's see, who did they draft? I think we had them go Caleb Banks, and then went Connor Liu. Potentially, I think Rutledge is a lot better than 94. I mean, if they're smart, they would continue to go interior offensive line. Although they do need a running back, this might be a good spot to take Emmett Johnson now that I think about it.
That is true. They want to keep going on with Joe Mixon. And
I don't even know if he'll still
Nick Chubb
be there with the team. So Johnson might be their play here. So bang. Buffalo. Okay, you draft a wide receiver. Now you need an edge player, and
they need a playmaker on defense.
Akeem Mesidor sitting right there. I think that's the best available edge rusher. So boom. All right, LA. I believe we had them go. I'm trying to just remember. I know they took Mayaga, then Colton Hood. That's right. Okay. So now, I mean, they go wide receiver here. They've got a lot of tight ends, but not like really any breakout ones. So I mean, like, is this a little like Oscar Delp? I don't think they waste that pick though. Or if they're looking for just some depth on that defensive line, it's that little sneaky Lee Hunter
would not be a bad pick.
Boom. So I think we'll fire that off for
Get some depth in there.
Yeah. Now the Broncos, I think Delp's a little enticing right here. We did take a wide receiver already. Is Evan Ingram coming back? There's a lot of decisions there. I think it'll be important for them to get a middle linebacker though. So
that's true. You don't know how much longer you're gonna have Greenlaw.
More practical to go and get Josiah Trotter, and especially like Singleton struggled in pass coverage a little bit this year. All right, well now you have New England. They took CJ Allen earlier. They could potentially use some edge help, but also, I mean, like Hunter Henry was all right for him, but like maybe they go and see if Oscar Delp can be their new next Rob Gronkowski. I mean, Georgia's got a good track record of tight ends.
Yeah, last few have been beasts.
I believe Seattle, we had them take a corner here. I'm trying to.
They got a depth.
Yeah, they went Abney here. Now, interior offensive line potentially.
Yeah, I mean, if Bradford has a bad Super Bowl, potentially get his replacement right here.
Or potentially elite edge rusher. Let's see what we got on edge here too. Nothing that blows your mind. I think guards probably important. I think Rutledge is probably the best, or one of the better options to take here.
Yeah.
So boom. There we go. And let's pop open these full draft results for everyone to see. So
Check it out.
There's round one. Let us know how you think we did. This again, way too early mock draft. We have no idea what teams are going to be looking like after free agency.
No free agency, no combine. We're only going off of the 2025-26 season for college.
Right.
That's all we can really say.
Some of the early rankings, but
Senior Bowl.
Yeah, like stuff is got like a lot of these prospects, like some of these guys, we're trying not to deviate too much from where like the where they're ranked on here, but like some of the rankings I think are really wonky for some of these guys. Like some guys I think are rated too high, others are rated too low. But I don't think this was a bad first round. I mean, like the first pick, I feel like is just a slam dunk. You got to go there. We got a little, we went a little crystal ballsy with some of these. Like, I mean, the Ty Simpson pick down here at 21. That's like assuming Aaron Rodgers retires. And so boom, you guys they go and take the Ty. And then like over here, like, all right, AJ Brown's demanded the trade, so they're working on that.
Yeah, we got some storylines.
Buffalo, building. Denver both get some more pass catchers.
This is the early time why the what if stuff's fun. Get to put all that into play right here.
This is what round one looks like. Arvell Reese in your top 5. Downs dropping just slightly to 7. You got Cardinal Tate and Jordan Tyson going top 6. Ruben Bain going to Tennessee. And then we go over here to round 2. The Jets get a little aggressive. They go and get Trinidad Chambliss.
I actually
the first
like
pick of that round. Yep.
I hope they do.
The Colts trade up so they can get a replacement for Alec Pierce, Chris Bell. Titans did draft a pass catcher in Surratt. Raiders look to get some protection for their new quarterback. Same thing the Giants do. Texans should get a go for a center. Same with the Browns. Dolphins build that secondary. Saints are filling out some depth for what's his name for Tyler Shuck. Sorry. And then the Broncos. My Broncos grabbing the linebacker. And the Patriots, man, in this draft, they had a great. I mean, they're going into the Georgia well, but they get C.J. Allen and Oscar Delp. That's a pretty big. Those are some pretty big names for him. Lamar over here at 45. They get him another weapon here. Jets add to the secondary. I like this. This is it's a solid. Let us know what you would grade this mock draft here. But I think we get a pretty solid one.
Pretty realistic.
The limit
trying to be too,
without having all the information or all the pieces of what we're going to be seeing in the future. I think we did a good job.
All
right. Well, folks, we're going to sign off a little early today. My man Caveman's got a job interview today, so he's got to get some time to go home and get back. And was that Pro Bowls tonight? So there weren't any games just to recap. We'll be back for the season finale of season 2 of Football Frenzy next Tuesday after the Super Bowl recap. And we're going to rank some things as well. So you're going to want to tune in for that one. It's going to be a good time. We'll see you guys tomorrow for our normal edition of Till the Final Whistle here on Military Broadcast Radio. Take care, everyone.
See you next week.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket.
A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.